Today, I'm going to give you 5 great interval sessions to break 50 minutes for 10K. If you're aiming to break 50 minutes for 10K, today I'm sharing 5 killer interval sessions, each designed to push you closer to your goal with just 20 minutes of total hard effort per session. These sessions are simple, effective, and perfectly tailored to your needs. And it will take you maximum between 45 minutes and 60 minutes to finish the whole session. So they're super efficient and leave no room for excuses. But why should you listen to me? I went from not being able to run 400 meters and having to walk home with my tail between my legs to running a 10K just over an hour, gradually moving over the ground super slow, to then running my next 10K in just under 40 minutes and completely mispacing it. But once I implemented exactly the type of session that I'm going to show you today, I started to go way faster. And I remember my first breakthrough winning a race in 33 minutes and 20 seconds. But first of all, why does interval training matter? Intervals are the fastest way that you can get faster. As simple as that. They allow you to work at a higher intensity than your usual runs, whilst building the specific fitness required for your race. In these sessions, we'll focus on the 3 key areas of development, which are aerobic capacity, building your engine to use oxygen efficiently, lactate threshold, improving your ability to sustain faster paces without fatiguing, neuromuscular efficiency, teaching your muscles to work efficiently at faster paces. And the best part, all you need is 20 minutes of hard work, broken up into different length intervals with 60 seconds rest in between. Here are 5 great sessions. Session number 1. So we're aiming for a 50-minute 10K. We're aiming for 50 minutes to work over the ground, 5 minutes per kilometer or 8 minutes per mile. So we've got to get used to working at that effort level and at that pace. So we're gonna break it down into just 1 minute intervals. Very short amount of time to be running at exactly race pace or even faster. And that's 20 times 1 minute with 60 seconds rest in between. So you're running a total volume of 20 minutes at race pace, but you've got that broken down into 1 minute manageable chunks with 60 seconds rest in between. And what I want you to do and focus on in those recoveries is getting the breathing under control and bringing the heart rate from high, moving fast over the ground, high, to low, so that you can manage the next interval rep. When I say let the pace come to you, what I mean is don't be striving for those faster paces. Don't be trying to sprint because it's only a minute and you've got only 20 of them. It will start to get very hard around 10, 15 reps, especially if you go out too fast. Interval session 2. 10 times 2 minutes with 60 seconds rest in between. So we're doubling the rep length, but we're only doing 10 reps, not 20. So it might be easier for you to pace 10 times 2 minutes than it was 20 times 1 minute. It's likely that it's easier for you to pace this because a lot of your runs, you're used to going out there and running for 40 to 60 minutes, and that's an easy pace or just a bit harder than an easy pace. So this will all seem fast, and that's brilliant because you're developing that skill at moving over the ground faster. So we're working with 2 minute intervals, but just 60 seconds rest. And all of a sudden, that will start to feel like not a lot of time at all, that 60 seconds rest. And the interval starts to feel a lot longer because we're working over the ground at a much faster pace than usual. It's only 30 minutes of total work, that 10-minute rest and that 20 minutes hard work. So it can be over quite quickly, but you've got to warm up fully for this. You've got to get into the habit of warming up, not only to reduce injury risk, but also prime your body to run fast and get the most out of this interval session. What that will look like for a session like 10 times 2 minutes is you want to walk for the first 500 meters. Just check the body out. Has the previous interval session soaked in, or am I a bit tense? Am I a bit tight, sore? Do I need to do some extra stretching? Then some light jogging and some dynamic stretching, and then some faster accelerations up to a point where you can do 2 times 50% of the first rep length. So if it's 10 times 2 minutes, I would like to be doing 2 times 1 minute at the pace and at the effort that I'm going to be able to run in those first couple of reps. Interval session number 3. Now we're starting to work with 3-minute intervals, so they're gonna feel longer for you, especially to be running faster, and especially if you're going faster than your 10K race pace. But we're only gonna do 7 of them, 7 times 3 minutes with 60 seconds rest in between. Depending on where your starting point was, how fast you can currently run 5K or 10K, This may feel easy for you to run 15 seconds faster than that 5 minute per kilometer pace, or even a little bit more, and sustain that over the 3 minute reps. Exactly the same with the 1 minute reps and the 2 minute reps. But what we're trying to do here is gradually increase that interval rep length whilst keeping the recovery the same. Interval session number 4. Now we're just down to 5 reps. 5 reps of 4 minutes, 20 minutes of total volume, 60 seconds rest in between, as always. And we keep that 60 seconds rest in between so that we can monitor the progress over the weeks. If that interval recovery changes, more difficult to monitor the progress, how much you're moving forward. 5 times 4 minutes is a great session to move you forward towards your 5K time and your 10K time. And by building volume, specifically at 10K race pace and faster, it's going to make us a way better athlete very quickly. And we're very quickly going to have gone from 1 minute reps, 2 minute reps, all the way up to 4 minute reps. And it still feels manageable despite only having 5 minutes rest throughout the entire session. Interval session number 5. We're just going to flip week 4 on the head. And we're not going to do 5 times 4 minutes, but we're going to do 4 times 5 minutes. It's going to feel like a very similar session. So 4 times 5 minutes with 60 seconds rest in between. So think about those initial weeks where we're going from 20 times 1 minute, very difficult session to execute, to 10 times 2 minutes. We're doubling that rep length, and so it feels like a shock to the system. Now we're just going from a 4 minute rep to a 5 minute rep, and it's a very closely related session to the previous week. It makes it so much more manageable. So at that point when we're building volume but split up less into just 4 chunks, 4 times 5 minutes, all of a sudden we're able to execute that and hopefully run 4 times 1 kilometer or even faster than that for the 20 minutes of volume. So there you go, those are the 5 sessions. But remember, consistency is where it's at. It's the consistency and discipline to do one of those sessions on a weekly basis. I love to put them in on Wednesday because then I can hit that hard and recover well enough in time for the Sunday long run, which is another big session, which I'm getting a lot of super compensation from. If you do that and you pace the week, then consistently you're hitting that Wednesday and Sunday with recovery runs and easy runs in between. In just a few weeks, that's building you into a completely different runner. Remember, pacing is key, and it's not just pacing a rep or pacing an interval session, it's pacing the week and pacing the training schedule. I hope you got something from that. And if you did, let me know in the comments below. What were the biggest benefits that you found when you started to do interval training for the first time?